Hey up YouTube, I hope you're all good. Is everything recording? Yes, it is. Oh, let me just check a second, I think it is. Play
じゃあ
that a
次
second
は
so I can check
ベー
this
ス
recording.
ミサ
There it is,
ミ
there
サ
it is,
ちゃ
there
ん
it is.
ミサちゃ
I
んは
can't hear any
1
of that
回目
because
で
it's in my
言ってびっくりされるのは
earphones. So there we go. So I had to make sure that I'm recording because it's doing me head in now because I've done it a couple of times now where I've started recording it and it's not. Right, anyway, yeah, Band-Maid documentary, number 4, MISA. Oh, I read in the comments that I've been conflating the two names, which I know that I were, not on purpose. I did realise afterwards that there's a MISA and a Miko, and I kept saying MISO. So yeah, thank you for correcting me in the comments. As I say, I'm here to learn, and as I've just said, got earphones now, thank God. I'm going to assume that this wiry bit goes on the right side. There's no left or right on it whatsoever. There's some braille, but I don't read braille. I ain't got a clue. You know, I'm assuming that's braille. Probably not. But yeah, let me know if you know. It doesn't even sound the box. No. I've got to assume. I'm going to assume that that's the right side. Yeah, so I'm so happy that I've got that. I bought this as well. Right. Only 25 quid. Bought that. Working brilliantly for about, I've had it for about an hour now. It was working brilliantly for about 20 minutes. I turned it off, but then went to use it again. Nothing but a flashing light now. Shit. Don't know what I've done. Can't turn it on or off. Me and technology, that's our relationship, that is. Well, anyway, at least I've got these that can plug in. I can't go wrong with these, hopefully. I shouldn't have said that. Something's going to go wrong now, innit? Right, Band-Maid documentary, MISA, right? I've enjoyed the first we've done. There's this one, then there's the last person, who is Kabato Miko. She has 3 parts. So I'm looking forward to that one. I'm probably the most, I reckon. Because the pigeon story, I'm really intrigued with it. 810-year-old pigeon. I want to know how that came by. Right, anyway, enough of that. On with this one today. I hope you're all doing well, by the way.
じゃあ次は
good.
ベース
Oh yeah, and there might be a couple of you out there watching this who was expecting this up yesterday. I didn't upload it yesterday. Well, I didn't record it at all yesterday because I had a right headache. Got home yesterday, had a shower and that. Just about to start filming. It literally felt like I'd been shot in the face with a nail gun. So no, my own footsteps were hurting my brain. So I couldn't upload anything last night. But yeah, we're here now anyway. Let's go on with it. Let's go.
ミサにしましょうか
I forgot I've got earphones. I need these now, don't I? I hope I don't get dented, whatever it's called. Gamers get that, don't they?
ミサちゃんは1回目で言ってびっくりされるのはステージドリンクがウイスキーストレート
本当にあの人酔っ払うんです。
ねえもう本当にじゃあ次はベースミサにしま
ミ
しょうか
サちゃん。
ミサちゃんは1回目で言ってびっくりされるのはステージドリンクがウイスキーストレート
本当にあの人酔っ払うんです。
ねえもう本当に2時間とかはまあ長いとやったりしますが、
すると結構
I wonder how much you could actually drink being so small.
がウイスキーストレート
本当にあの人酔っ払うんです。
ねえもう本当に2時間とかはまあ長いとやったりしますが、
すると結構後半はもう、フラフラというか
もう
ベロベロというか
ベロベロですぽね出来上がりつつある感じです、
Something's just occurred to me then. In Japan, there's a drink called sake. Is that the same as sake as in spelt like this? Or am I wrong? Let me know.
かなって感じ、すると結構後半はもう、フラフラというか
もう
ベロベロというか
ベロベロですぽね出来上がりつつある感じですぽね、
かなって感じ、
まあでもよりね
I love that they even say wasted.
なんだろうグルービー
良
なベー
くなる
スを
の。そうベースの演奏が良くなるから
緊張しいだったりちょっとするところがあるので、
ピュアだから
ピュアだからとてもバンドメイドで一番純粋な心を
そう
持ってるの
見た目はねクールビューティーな、
クールビューティー
アジア
も
ンビューティーな感じなんだけど
海外からの
See where they're saying cool beauty there, right? Is is that how they say it in Japan? Is this how they say it in Japan, or are they just flipping that to English? So I genuinely can't tell a lot of the time with these, because they sing, don't they, in English purposely? So I can't tell. Sometimes I hear English. Let me know in the comments. I
ね、
really
人
don't
気は
know.
すごいですもんね。
一番です
う
ね。
ん。ミ
ね、クールビューティー
クール
な、
ビューティー。
アジアンビュー
ビュ
ティーな感じなんだけど、
海外からのね、人気はすごいですもんね。
一番です
う
ね。
ん。ミサ、ミサってすごいコールが起きるぐらい。
だって怖い印象を受けるもんね、最初。
I don't want to keep pausing too much, but I keep saying MISA, MISA, MISA a few times in my comments, so definitely overseas.
最初は
あんまりこう喋らないからね。
そうそうそうそう、怖い人だと思ってましたっていうコメントよく見る。
ね、でも小学生みたいなね、ことで、すごいくだらないことでミサちゃん一番笑うし。
Sorry, I'm going to turn it up because I know I've got the power to turn it up a bit more and sound better. Oh, Jesus Christ, not even halfway up. Yeah, that'll do it.
変顔もすごいする。
もう一番そういうの大好きだもんね。だから怖いとは一番前なね、ことで、すごいくだらないことでミサちゃん一番笑うし。
変顔もすごいする。
もう一番そういうの大好きだもんね。だから怖いとは一番真逆にいる。
一番面白い人かもしれない。
そうだっぽね。バンドメイドの一番面白い人だっぽね、きっと。
With an introduction like that,
First little bit of music I've heard with the earphones, instantly straight away, I can hear the bloody beat.
I think we can figure out who's going to be highlighted in today's video. So today, let's talk about MISA.
A million times better with earphones.
MISA was born on October 15th in Okayama, a prefecture close to Osaka, and next to Hyogo, where Akane was born. According to her mother, she was an easy child to raise as she used to play by herself. Even though she was a lively child, she always avoided dangerous situations and tried to act like an adult. She loved music and arts in general, but hated studying. And just like Kanami and Akane, music has been a part of Misa's life since her early childhood.
No one likes studying at school, isn't it weird, right? As you get older, my mum used to say something when I was, well, I used to read, she didn't say it to me, she'd say things like, education's wasted on kids. I don't know if that's a saying or just my mum used to say it, but it's true. Not all kids, of course, but I were interested in learning as a kid, but in my adult life, you know what I mean? What I learned about loads of stuff. History, I love history.
But
I did like history at school, to be fair, but I like it a lot more now.
But hated studying. And just like Kanami and Akane, music has been a part of Misa's life since her early childhood, as she started to learn piano when she was around 4. In elementary school, she joined a brass band and played alto horn. Right when she entered junior high school, MISA moved to Tokyo due to family circumstances, and her temper changed a lot. She had a hard time fitting in with life in the big city and getting along with her peers from the same grade. She was also afraid to be judged because of her accent, which was different from the other children, and became more and more introverted. In 7th grade,
I had that. I probably moved, an hour and 50 minutes drive away when I was 14, and I got picked on because of my accent, trying to say I was German. I came from South Yorkshire and I moved to Lincolnshire. It's the next county over. It happens here as well. It must happen all over the world, to be fair, innit? See, right, as an English speaker, I didn't know that there was different accents, but of course there is. There's bound to be. It's silly to think there wouldn't be.
She started to play afraid to be judged because of her accent, which was different from the other children, and became more and more introverted. In 7th grade, she started to play guitar, but ended up joining a concert band in 9th grade, where she played the trumpet. Even though she did learn a lot of different instruments, she kept learning piano for a few years. In high school, she played as a guitarist vocalist in a Keon club with a Fender Squier model that she bought. One day, an older friend of MISA asked her if she could join his band as a bassist. Until then, she'd never thought about playing bass. She started to play guitar and always wanted to play drums, but bass? It had never crossed her mind. MISA borrowed a bass and started to play, and even though it was difficult, she loved it and bought a...
I did read in the comments the headgear as well that she wears, MISA wears a bonnet tied under her chin. And I will get the names and the headgear together. But these two I've got off now. I've got who these two are. Saki and MISA. Nearly said her name wrong then.
Squier P bass immediately so she could give back the bass she borrowed. And one of the main reasons MISA got introduced to music at such an early age was that her mother listened to music all the time. This is how MISA got to hear bands like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and The Who when she was still only in kindergarten. Her mother was also very supportive and helped MISA choose the right school when she hesitated between university and professional college. MISA started a course on sound engineering in a professional college before changing to a bass course.
I know I paused a lot, but that just hurts my brain looking at that.
And professional college. MISA started a course on sound engineering.
That, just looking at a laptop does my head in enough. That, I don't know. I'd love to be able to do that. Remember years ago, back in the late 90s, my dad on his PC back in the day, he had this like dance track thing that you made dance tracks, and it looked very similar to the editing, the CapCut editing thing where you just line things up. I remember making music on that. It's pretty good. I don't mean the music I made, I mean the tool itself was pretty good. But yeah, this looks so complicated.
In a professional college before changing to a bass course, as she didn't want to work behind a stage, but on stage as a professional
Good
bassist.
choice.
Before talking about Band-Maid, let's take a look at MISA's past experience in the music industry. Except for small bands during her school years, MISA had been a member of a band named Prototype for 5.5 years between 2008 and 2013. Prototype was a small band composed of 4 members, and the band made at least 2 mini-albums and performed several live concerts. We don't have that much information, but it seems that they sold their CDs directly and not via music stores. They used to perform in and around Shimokitazawa, which is where MISA lived. And
that's how it normally starts, isn't it? People going around giving the CDs out.
it seems that they sold their CDs directly and not via music stores. They used to
Makes sense, doesn't it?
perform in and around Shimokitazawa, which is where MISA lived, and Shibuya. There is a review of one of their live performances which states that they sound like the Smashing Pumpkins and are appealing to everyone who loves Western music. The person who wrote this review also said that they couldn't stop smiling. It sounds like this band must have played some great music. But that's not all. While she was playing for Prototype, MISA joined another band called Hurtist. This band was formed with 6 members who performed live several times before disbanding in October 2012. You can find 3 of their live videos on their YouTube channel. MISA and Akane also met before disbanding in October 2012. You can find 3 of their live videos on their YouTube channel. MISA and Akane also met in 2012 as they were going to the same school, the Tokyo Music School. They connected immediately as instrumentalists and worked together on several projects. The same year, they made an appearance as actors in an MV of the singer-actress Becky with the song Yoruka Switch.
Yoruka?
In 2015, MISA, along with Konami and Akane, were at the 5th anniversary party of the idol band Predia in Zepp, Tokyo, as a backing band. You do remember the link between Predia and Band-Maid, right? There was a band called Mochi to Cheese made by Akane, Konami, and 3 members from Predia.
Don't make me laugh now I know what it says. It did say cheese, but it didn't say toe cheese like I thought it did.
All right, right? There was a band called Mochi to Cheese made by Akane, Konami, and 3 members from Predia.
Yeah, let me clarify. Before, when I first heard that name, I thought he said Munchie toe cheese, and it just made me chuckle. This was right at the very beginning, though.
And Band-Maid, right? There was a band called Mochi to Cheese made by Akane, Konami, and 3 members from Predia. All right, we are in May 2013. Prototype announced that they will disband in July, and Band-Maid posted an audition announcement on May 29th. The next month, on June 5th, MISA announced on her old account linked to Prototype that she's going to an audition. Does this mean that MISA had the perfect timing to join Band-Maid? Let's see how she was recruited. In another interview, MISA confirmed that Akane tried to recruit her into Band-Maid right when Prototype announced their disbanding. But Akane didn't know about this information, so she was bold enough to invite MISA to join another band. And it paid off. Now, MISA has said that she was in izakaya when Akane called her, and she was pretty drunk, so she had to take at least a night to think about it. MISA listened to the demo.
I don't know why it surprises me that they get drunk. They are rock stars, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? It's, again, the juxtaposition. The way they look, the way they dress, and what they actually are.
And found that the songs were proper rock music and cool.
Exactly.
She was actually afraid that this band would be an idol band. As she didn't want to stop playing bass, MISA quickly accepted the invitation to join Band-Maid the day after Akane talked to her. So in the end, Miku recruited Konami, who was found on Nico Nico. And then Konami recruited Akane just after the restaurant she was working at closed, and Akane recruited MISA just after her group disbanded. Wow. If that is not fate, I don't know what is. Now that MISA had joined Band-Maid,
I look at that picture again because I could see the heights and the height difference. I could see,
wow.
Could see Saki was a hell of a lot taller than the rest.
If that is...
I can't really tell now because they're not stood up straight. But she definitely looks a hell of a lot taller though.
Is not fate, I don't know what is. Now that MISA had joined...
Sorry, I got...
Wow. If that...
I feel as though they've all crouched down. God. For the middle one, names. We've got Saki, Konami, Akane, MISA in the middle. MISA in the middle. I'm learning. I don't know if you can see my, I say it all the time, my arrow thing, my cursor. So, middle is MISA. Next to her on the left is Akane. To the right is Saki. Then it's MISA. Then it's Miku. I'm 99% sure I'm right on that one. Please don't kill me if I'm not. But please let me know how many I got right. By the end of all the documentaries, I will have it down.
Is not fate. I don't know what is. Now
I shouldn't have paused and gave myself that little quiz. I've just shown myself up there, and I bet. I put it on myself, didn't I?
Her group disbanded. Wow. If that is not fate, I don't know what is.
I think I'm right.
Now that MISA had joined Band-Maid, it's a new start for our favorite bassist. A new start, yes, but with one problem: the maid outfit. MISA was never into cosplay, so she wasn't used to wearing this kind of clothing. She felt really uncomfortable during the first live shows and with the first version of her outfit. It was also around this time when MISA thought about quitting Band-Maid. It was during the first or second one-man performance, and MISA was already working a lot in addition to her work for Band-Maid, so she was in really bad physical and mental condition. She felt that the music she liked was too far from the music she played with the band, and started to think about leaving and forming a band where she could play the kind of music she liked. She talked to the manager, who proposed that she take a good look at the view from the stage at the Masters and Princesses and decide after that. Thankfully, the reactions and responses from the crowd that day moved MISA deeply enough.
Great suggestion. Great suggestion. Looking at it from the other perspective. But yeah, it's a good job she didn't leave, innit?
And princesses and decide after that. Thankfully, the reactions and responses from the crowd that day.
I get the not feeling comfortable in certain clothes and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? We've all done it, had to wear clothes in certain situations that we don't feel comfortable in. And you just feel like a tit. Do you know what I mean? But I get that. Especially going in front of loads of people.
Moved MISA deeply enough so she chose to stay and decide after that. Thankfully, the reactions and responses from the crowd that day moved MISA deeply enough so she chose to stay with Band-Maid. She was sure that this band had great potential and could become way bigger. Time flies by, and we are at that moment where Konami is writing songs for the band. From world domination, but more in Conqueror and Unseen World, MISA actively participated in songwriting on her bass lines and has felt more freedom since then. Konami gives out notes from time to time depending.
So, were they full albums? Can you do full album reactions on here? If you can, let me know.
MISA actively participated in songwriting on her bass lines and has felt more freedom since then. Konami gives out notes from time to time depending on the song and what she has in mind. While writing music, MISA thinks more about what would serve the quality of the song rather than be sure that it's playable immediately. She had difficulties recording some songs of Unseen World because of that, but she managed to get them recorded in the end by spending more time on the hardest parts. And even if a song is really difficult for her, MISA will always practice enough so that she doesn't have to look at her hands while she's playing live. For example, the first part of No God was written by Konami, and she asked MISA to write the rest of the song.
I know I got it wrong earlier, and I know you screaming at the screen then. Like, where are we now? 2309. I forgot what I was told in the comments, right? The two that I'm getting muggled up is Misu and Miku, and I don't know why, because I'm watching the Misu documentary. I'm not the brightest bulb, I've said that before.
And although she, at this time, and even if a song is really difficult for her, MISA will always practice enough so that she doesn't have to look at her hands while she's playing live. For example, the first part of No God was written by Konami, and she asked MISA to write the rest of the song. At this time, MISA was learning bass and drum programming, so she wrote those two parts, including her solo.
Definitely let me know in the comments if I've got these earphones the right way, because it's doing the left and right as it normally does, but I want to get it properly because the bass, is coming out more on this side than this side. Doing all that switchy switch thing. I didn't even say on the bloody box. Who cares? It sounds a million times better anyway.
It was a new experience for her, and she had to send new riffs to Konami every week for Unseen World. And although she obviously sent her demos to Konami, MISA used to send them to another member, Psyche. MISA sent her work to Psyche to confirm that her bass line was easy to sing with, and also because Psyche praises her a lot. And MISA loves to be praised by Psyche when she's working on a new song. As she wrote in an interview, "I just send them to her without saying anything in order to get praised by her. That's my source of energy. That makes me enjoy drinking better." What a great group of friends they are. There are two particularities regarding MISA when you see her perform on stage. The first one is that she never wears shoes when she's playing, with some exceptions on very hot days during outside performances, as the stage can get really hot. This is something she has done since the beginning of Band-Maid. You can see her wearing shoes in some MV, but most of the time, she likes to play barefoot. She answered a question from a fan in 2014 on Twitter saying that heels hurt her feet and are really hard to walk in, so she chose not to wear anything at all.
That's why I don't wear
MISA
them.
even ended up with the nickname the Barefoot Assassin. Why? Well, first of all, she plays barefoot. And during the Gold Rush interview, when the band was asked about the maid outfits, and particularly MISA's, which didn't look like a maid outfit, Miku answered that it's an assassin-made outfit. The second thing you'll notice about MISA is that she always has a bottle of whiskey on her amp while performing live. And she even drinks in the MV of Don't You Tell Me.
I actually had noticed that bottle of whiskey in a video or two. I had seen it. Unless I'd just seen it at the beginning of this, but I know that I've noticed it.
If you look closely at every performance, you can spot the bottle that she drinks during MCs. During the US tour in 2020,
again, why the hell is it a surprise?
22. She even had her own opening ceremony where she opened a can of beer in front of her mic to make a loud sound, and the audience really loved that moment.
Get her to the UK, give her some special brew. See how she enjoys that. See how the performance goes after that one.
MISA used to open a can of beer or drink whiskey during MCs for a long time, and she even shared a bit of her whiskey with a fan in 2019 during a concert in the New York Mercury Lounge.
Not touching your lips.
She is thought to be the one who drinks the most, but if you had a chance to listen to the Radio for Omesu-sama episode aired on August 1st, 2021, you would learn that they all actually drink a lot, except for Konami, who...
So they have been to the UK then. Did they serve Boddingtons in other parts of the world? Probably.
Episode aired on August 1st, 2021, you would learn that they all actually drink a lot, except for Konami, who falls asleep before she gets a chance to drink. Despite her love for alcohol, MISA tweeted in May 2022 that she came to realize that it was too much for her and she decided to be more careful in the future. And now it's time to talk about MISA's playstyle. As usual, I'll let proper bassists present their thoughts to you on what they think about MISA. Gentlemen, if you please.
So what makes MISA a great bassist? First of all, she went to musical school, so she learned a lot about music theory. You can see that in her playing. She's constantly moving around the root note, adding or removing note at the end of her phrases, changing the tone by going all over the neck and not just staying at the low end. She masters all the playing style, finger style, slap, pick. She knows when to use them and always use the right one at the right moment. She can...
Seems we've gone a bit dark. Let me just turn light on a minute. Back. Don't know whether that's any better.
All the playing
Need to get a ring light.
style, finger style, slap, pick. She knows when to use them and always use the right one at the right moment. She can switch from one to another in a blink of an eye, like when she does her pick flip to switch from pick to slap. Her right hand work is so smooth and precise. It's mesmerizing.
I have no idea what it means by pick and slap.
When it comes to her role in the band, she's a lead bassist. She can flawlessly jump from just playing the root note to taking the lead or providing an harmony to the vocals, and all of this in the same bar. There is no boundaries in her playing. That's what makes her so interesting and very inspiring to me. She's my favorite bassist, and I hope to hear her and Band-Maid for a lot more years.
When I think back about all of the bands that I've loved for many years, so many great bass players. But when I think of the bassists who
That's a chair, by the way. Honest.
When I think back about all of the bands that I've loved for many years, so many great bass players. But when I think of the bassists who really excited me, or more importantly, the ones whose parts I wanted to learn how to play, I think they all have kind of one thing in common. And that's the use of the bass, not just as a tonal and rhythmic foundation for a song, or that kind of glue that holds a band together, but they use the instrument as another source of melody and melodicism and musicality. And I think there are far fewer of those kinds of bassists out there. So imagine my delight as a bassist discovering Band-Maid, where you have MISA, who's just constantly up and down the neck playing what aren't super complicated parts, but making these really musical choices about, a note here versus a note here.
It's great that, isn't it? All these professionals saying all good stuff about them too. No, what else could they say, to be fair?
Down the neck playing what aren't super complicated parts, but making these really musical choices about, a note here versus a note here. She's in many ways a counterpart to Konami, in that they're always expanding on a riff or adding new textures or new little motifs. They may play something fairly straight the first time, but after that, forget it. And it's not, again, like the parts are super complicated or technically difficult. They're just really smart, or for me, the big thing is that they're really...
I'm going to guess they are difficult. For me to try and understand it's difficult, so doing it's got to be difficult, surely.
But after that, forget it. And it's not, again, like the parts are super complicated or technically difficult. They're just really smart, or for me, the big thing is that they're really musical.
How would I describe Misa's playing style?
Bjorn.
That's a tall order. What makes her special to me is her writing and her flawless ability to judge what to play and when to play it, without shying away from taking up space. She doesn't just serve the song, filling out the lower frequencies, locking up with the drums. She's actively creating a large portion of what makes the songs what they are. The groove, drive, momentum, anticipation, tension. It's like all her parts serve a purpose larger than just playing notes that work in the right tempo. She really adds another thick layer to the onion that is Band-Maid. One of my favorite habits of hers is when she's having a bit of a bass solo during the guitar solo, as can be heard in Manners and Reincarnation, for example.
Did he answer my question that I've asked before? Is it classed as a solo? You can hear the other instruments as well.
The habits of hers is when she's having a bit of a bass solo during the guitar solo.
Having a bass solo during a guitar solo. So that kind of answered my question, but that defeats what solo means. But it stands, I do get it, yeah, it stands out more than, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but it did answer my question, that anyway.
As can be heard in Manners and Reincarnation, for example. It's so backwards to the old tropes about backing down during a solo, but it's always so tastefully made and never distracting. Rather the opposite.
If only it had If only I'd have listened more. It stands out more. Yeah. Thank you, Bjorn. I really understand that. I got that.
Old tropes about backing down during a solo, but it's always so tastefully made and never distracting.
Yeah, I get that.
Rather the opposite.
Because normally I imagine when someone's trying to do a solo and other people are jumping in, but you're taking over my spotlight, or you shouldn't be trying to take the spotlight. I don't know, but yeah, I see what it means. It's definitely tastefully done. It was when I heard it, to me, whether it was a drum solo or the I don't even know whether they are classed as solos, even though he just answered it. I'm trying to decipher which are now in my own head. You definitely can tell it stands out more when one instrument stands out a hell of a lot more. That's got to be classed as a solo in what he's saying, in what I'm gathering in my brain here. My God. I'm just complicating it more myself.
Old tropes about just having a bit of a bass solo during the guitar solo, as can be heard in Manners and Reincarnation, for example. It's so backwards to the old tropes about backing down during a solo. But it's always so tastefully made and never distracting. Rather the opposite. She also has this ability to tap into what the other instruments are doing and create her own parts from that, seamlessly switching between what instruments to follow. A prime example of that can be heard in the second verse of About Us, especially in the live version. She starts out by establishing the groove with the drums for the first 3 bars, and then a fill during the 4th bar, setting herself up for the next 4 bars, where she gradually starts playing off the vocals. The first 2 bars by matching the vocal phrases subdivided by 16th notes, and for the second 2 bars, now the transition is complete, and now she just plays a lower harmony to the vocals.
It's that simple. Matey Boy before just said that it ain't hard. My God. He explained it really well, Bjorn did. But it sounds so complicated to me still.
Subdivided by 16th notes, and for the second 2 bars, now the transition is complete, and now she just plays a lower harmony to the vocals. After that, she immediately switches to locking up rhythmically to Kanami's octave climb for 1 bar. And then, for the last bar, she rounds everything off with a little fill of 16th notes, almost like a drum fill. All that during 10 bars. Her playing and writing is a big reason why I keep coming back to their music over and over again.
Thank you very much for taking the time to share your experience and knowledge and your feelings regarding MISA's playstyle. I wonder what you, the viewer, what do you think of MISA as a bassist? I'm very interested to know what's on your mind. Let's move to the end of our journey. MISA learned to play a lot of instruments, and even though she knew which ones she wanted to learn, she ended up playing the one instrument she never even thought about. From the moment she picked up a bass, MISA never stopped playing it. She loves bass so much that she even switched.
When I say suits her, I don't mean physically suits her. I mean it suits her more than the other instruments that she tried to play, obviously.
Courses to become a professional. From the moment she picked up a bass, MISA never stopped playing it.
Though it does suit her physically as well.
She loves bass so much that she even switched courses to become a professional bassist and live from her passion. In the end, MISA ended up with Band-Maid thanks to the boldest move and the perfect timing. And Band-Maid is a band where everyone shines. Everyone has a moment in every song. We're used to seeing guitarists and drummers being high.
See, he was about to go into it there, wasn't he? But yeah, that's one thing with these. It's no real lead, is he? Obviously, Saki's there singing, the lead singer, as they call it. But yeah, they're all got their own bits. Yeah, no one's in the background. Like when I grew up and I used to see rock groups or whatever on the TV, MTV, and all that sort of crap. You never saw the drummer, did you? Not really. But yeah.
Highlighted but Bassists is a band where everyone shines. Everyone has a moment in every song. We're used to seeing guitarists and drummers being highlighted, but bassists, That's not very common. How many bands that you listen to allow their bassist to really shine? I'm talking about bands with 2 guitars or a guitar and a piano. I'm sure you can find some examples, but since its creation, Band-Maid has always found a way to allow MISA to find her spotlight. From thrill to...
I can't wait to listen to a full song. That was the best sounding bit so far. A full song with these earphones, I mean.
Has always found a way to allow MISA to find her spotlight. From thrill to influencer.
Many times better.
Dice. Or even manners. During live performances introducing a song, or to go crazy on a duel with Konami. Even though MISA's personality is mostly introverted, when she is on stage playing bass, she seems finally free and is having the time of her life.
You can see.
She even learned programming and participated actively in the songwriting process. Since she joined Band-Maid, MISA followed her passion to become a professional bassist and surrounded herself with the best group of friends who have become very close to what we can call a family.
Listen, I know that I got names wrong earlier, right? I don't need to now. I'm going to study really hard when I'm finished. I'm telling you, I won't make that mistake again. Don't be too harsh at me in the comments. I know you're all diehard fans, and I will be by the end of the documentaries. I'm telling you, I love their music and the documentaries. Finding out about them. I saw in the comments before I even reacted to the documentaries that they're all geniuses. I don't want to say, but some people was like, especially Konami. Sorry, Akani. My God. I've done it again, haven't I? I'm an idiot. I'm going to keep my mouth shut until I've learned everything about these people. Which I'm here to do. So again, don't be too harsh to me in the bloody comments. I'm here to learn. There you go, Band-Maid documentary. Number 4, that was MISA. Next, it is... I don't say anything now until I look. Next is Miko, part 1. There's 3 of them. So yeah, once I've done them, I'm going to put them all in a, a playlist, I think, as well. Be easier for other people that haven't seen them to find them. But yeah, first of all, I've got to say, earphones, get that out of the way first. Earphones, I know I banged on about it all the way through the video, but loads better. So I'm looking forward now to getting on with the music, the live shows and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to have a look through the comments and see what reactions people want me to do, if there is any. There's bound to be some some suggestions in there, because there's literally dozens and dozens, if not 100 or 2. Of comments that I've got to get through, and I massively appreciate them. I might be late getting to replying to them, but I do read them. Eventually I get there. Replying to them, but I read them kind of straight away. But I don't always have time to reply straight away. So enough crap from me. Yeah, again, brilliant Band-Maid documentary, MISA. I'm going to study very hard. I am going to get all their names and faces embedded in my brain. Yeah, again, love their music. Yeah, if you made it this far and you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, put something in the comments for me to react to or just read in general. And yeah, enjoy your day. And I'm really happy that I've got earphones. Goodbye. Peace.